What is up, everybody? Greg Newmaster here doing another action figure review and unboxing. I'm super excited about this figure. We have Mcfarlane's DC Multiverse Nightwing. So Nightwing is one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. Dick Grayson, the original Robin, just such an awesome character, protege of Batman. Hopefully the successor someday. He has been a couple times, has taken on the mantle of Batman. Did you guys realize, do you realize how important this character is, especially if you are a Marvel fan? And maybe some of you are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But truly, we wouldn't have Spider-Man, we wouldn't have the X-Men if it wasn't for Nightwing. And you're saying, why? Why do you say that? And the reason is because Robin, aka Nightwing, Dick Grayson, inspired Stan Lee to create Spider-Man, inspired him to create the X-Men. And the reason being is because Stan Lee saw that you could create an awesome, more relatable character if you took the sidekick and made him the hero. And Dick Grayson is the prototype, the archetype of all sidekicks, especially the sidekicks growing into their own person. So a lot of Peter Parker, a lot of the young X-Men, the original team, the original five, were modeled after this idea of the sidekick becoming their own character. That's how awesome Robin is. That's how much praise and love this character deserves, which I don't think he gets enough of, which I don't think we've had a great representation yet. Granted, I liked what Titans have done, the TV show. Still, that they're not capturing the essence of Dick Grayson. I think his name's Brendan Thwaites or something. I don't know his last name, but he's more just like Batman Jr., like moody, dark, like really gritty. Sort of like a Frank Miller version instead of the suave, fun, upbeat sort of light side to Batman. Nightwing, Robin always kind of grounded Batman when Batman was going too far to the edge. Robin, aka Dick Grayson, it all started with him, would ground him and bring him back down into reality. And he became the surrogate father of Dick Grayson, Bruce Wayne, Batman to Robin. So such a great character. I hope we get a great cinematic treatment of him someday that does him justice. So let's unbox this figure. Super excited about it. This is totally raw, so you guys are experiencing this with me. I already cut the tape, so let's check out the packaging first, because people are all about the packaging. I'm not. It's not a bad box. There's the side. Here is the back, which is cool. So the design of this figure is the DC Rebirth Nightwing, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute when I'm going over it. If you can see that there, not my favorite costume design, but it's not the worst. But it's just not my favorite. There's the side of the packaging. Here's the bottom, if you want to see that. So let's get this baby open. Pull this puppy out. So I was a little bit shocked when I first got the figure because it's big. And I'm going to talk about that. It is secured in here by this little, it's not a twisty tie. It's like a plastic strip. So I'm going to try and pop this out here. Messing it up. Yeah, it's just this one tie around the waist. Ooh, man, it feels heavy. It feels like a real solid plastic. So let's get a look at this here. Like really firm. like super firm, not a soft plastic at all. And upon first look, so I'm going to judge this by sculpt, articulation, quality, accessories. If we're looking at it here, so the black of the paint is not a shiny black, it's a real muted black. I'm liking the face design of the sculpt. When I saw it in the pictures, he looked kind of baby-faced. I didn't really like it. So this guy is big. He's very big, and I don't like that off the bat. Let's see here. So from head to toe, we got about, this guy's right about 7 inches. 7 inches. Okay, so I want to take a minute to complain about that. You know, DC, get your crap together. Honestly, like, in terms of scale, they just keep blowing it. You know what I mean? They're not scaling the figures to any other figures, like the Marvel 6-inch line. And I don't know why they keep doing that. Maybe to be unique or say like a big FU to Marvel or whatever, but come on, like just give us a basic 6-inch line. They screwed it up with the icons, the DC icons, which I really like those figures, and then they tried to recorrect, but then they just made them too small. They made them too small with the icons. They were like 5.5 inches. So here is the DC Icons Nightwing. Like that. Look at how much bigger that is. It just like towers over that figure. 7 inches. So let's see if we focus there. Yeah. All right. So he's big. He's solid. He's not a light plastic. Let's check out the articulation. Head goes back about that far, goes down that much, so not very good. A little bit side to side. Maybe it could be a double joint in the neck, so we get more head movement, but it doesn't really look like it. It's a good face sculpt. I'm not a big fan of the blue mask. Once again, this is the DC Rebirth. This figure looks way better than the Mcfarlane Batman and Superman figure, like in terms of the ab crunch. Like this piece right here, it looked really sloppy in the new figures. So he can back bend about that much, crunch forward about that much. Let's see, shoulders go up. Shoulders feel a little loose. So look at that there. Kind of, ooh, look at that. Look at that ugly seam there. That is really janky. I do not like that. Got the butterfly joints. Ooh, not a lot of movement there. Almost kind of useless. It's like, why did you put that joint in there? Doesn't even really move. You guys are seeing that. So this is not good either. They gave him the trunks, and it looks like a diaper. It's soft. It's a softer plastic, but it looks like a diaper. He can turn in the waist, has waist movement. I don't want to force it. Like, this is the first time I've touched this figure, so you guys are experiencing this live with me. We got the double jointed elbows, very tight. Then we got, ooh, there's kind of like a clicking, ratchety sound. We got ball joints in the wrists, which isn't bad, but it just kind of looks sloppy. I like it when they, for the wrist, so you get full like wrist movement like this. I like when they put like a little peg, like a ball peg that sticks out on the end, and you just put the hand on, and then you get really good movement that way, especially if the character has weapons or something like that. So let's check out the legs. Oh man, that's as far as we get for the straddle. That just sucks. Okay, Nightwing and Batman are ninjas, so they need a really good range of movement. The kick is high. Look at that kick. Double jointed knees. Oh, this guy's stuck. I don't want to force it. I'm going to have to heat that up later because that knee is not going to bend. All right, this one bends. So that's good. Like, Nightwing needs to be able to... Nightwing is a gymnast. He's a circus performer. Flying Grayson's, aerial acrobatics kind of guy. So he needs to be very agile, very flexible. Yeah, so we're not getting a lot in the legs. That's very disappointing. Extremely tight. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. We got ankle tilt up and down like that. We got toe pivot. We also have sculpting in the boots, which looks kind of cool. There it is on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. Forgive me if this video is not very good. I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. I was just so excited to get this open, but yeah, so mine is, looks like the joint is fused together right there. I'm gonna have to cut that with an X-Acto knife. Yeah, so for all the articulation, it's no good if you have the articulation, but it doesn't articulate very well if you can't pose it and move it. There's the ankle. Oh, look at that. That's like a broken ankle. If you fell on that, did you ever roll your ankle like that? Yeah. So this is disappointing. Very disappointing with the split. You know, forcing it. Oh, I'm really, that's about as far as I can get it. Here's the back. This is always good with the Nightwing figures. I like the Eskrima holders. So, bust those out for you. These are nice. They're real big, real thick, very detailed looking. Also, this comes with a Build-A, it's a Build-A-Figure Batmobile. So, here's the Build-A-Figure Batmobile. This is the center section, it looks like. You know, that's not bad. That could be cool. I prefer the larger size Batmobiles. That's another thing, like when you have characters that are known for their vehicles. So Batman is known for the Batmobile. You know, you need to scale the figures so that they fit in the vehicle, so you can have vehicles. That's why I always really loved the Star Wars 3.75-inch figures. That was always the standard. So if you had Luke or Han, you could put them in the X-Wing or the Millennium Falcon that came with it. Then they just made the figures bigger in 6-inch, which is fine. 6 inches, not bad for the figures, but you know, I like the 3.75 scale for vehicle purposes, and you know, they were always able to do it with the G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes looked great, especially in the 80s. They had lots of articulation. You could put them in the vehicles. They came with all their guns and packs and accessories. There's no reason why DC and Marvel couldn't have done that, but I think the Marvel Legends kind of set the tone with the 6-inch figures. But oh, here's another thing. Okay, so this is another thing that sucked about the DC icons. Like, there's no thigh cut. There's no thigh swivel, so I can't turn this thigh, which is annoying for posing. I don't know. I'm kind of regretting this. It's cool. It's Nightwing. I love Nightwing, but I'm kind of regretting it. It's super tight. Not a lot of flexibility, especially for Nightwing. All right, so let's talk about the costume. This is important. So, like I said, I grew up loving Robin. So this style of costume is based on the DC Rebirth. So, So it's based on, I think this is the cover of DC Rebirth #1, Nightwing, which isn't bad. It's a riff on the original costume, which is right behind me right here. This is like the modern black Nightwing, not the 80s Nightwing like the disco costume. So what I like about this costume is they incorporated the Batman the Animated Series logo. They put the little bird head there, which I really like. So this is a combo of the Batman the Animated Series logo. You see that? And the original late 90s, 2000 Nightwing costume. So let's say a couple words about that. This is Scott McDaniel. He drew Nightwing for a long time. Actually proud to say this guy is from my hometown, Pittsburgh. He actually grew up in my community. Didn't live too far from me, which is really cool. I love his artwork. Some people don't like it. It's a little too anime for them. But I loved the way he drew Nightwing. Just awesome. Here's another thing. So his style as he went along kind of got a little more simplified. But he drew Nightwing and Batman for a while. Here's Jim Lee, the man himself. He's just awesome. So there's the Jim Lee Nightwing. Just to give you a couple examples of the costume. Now, what I don't like about it is I don't like the blue mask in the new design. I liked it when it was black. Not really a fan of the blue around the boots. I don't know. I loved to compare. Here is the DC Icons Nightwing. This is just the simplistic. This is based on the Jim Lee version. Just very sleek black. A dark blue for the emblem. This is a lighter blue. Like I said, it has the bird design there. And this also has the black mask. Now, I never understood, and they never really addressed this, like the practicality of Robin's costume or Nightwing. Like, Batman wears a full cowl. Like, he wears a full protective head mask. For whatever reason, Robin and Nightwing only wore the tiny domino mask. And I know it's just for aesthetic purposes, but you need something protecting that head. Like, get a bullet to the head, get struck in the head by a blunt object. So just I like the way Kingdom Come or Red Robin had like the full mask. Even though like Dick Grayson's known for being handsome and they just want to see his face or whatever, but I don't know. I think he should have something covering his head. Anyhow, it only comes with the Eskrima sticks. There they are. There's a little bit of detail in them, which is nice because the DC Icons one, like if you look at these, they're just plain little black sticks. So these look like they're more detailed. They have more weight to them, so it's nice. Here's just to compare. Here is the original DC Universe Classics Nightwing, this is way more posable than this guy, by the way. Like, we can get a full split with him. This one doesn't have the double joints. That's the only thing that makes this one crappy. It even has the Eskrima stick holders in the background. This is like the very first Nightwing figure of the modern era, besides like the old Kenner versions. So let's put him up against NECA Batman, by the way, which is one of the best Batman figures ever made, in my opinion. So he is almost... Geez, look at his hips. His hips are higher than Batman's. Dick Grayson should be way shorter compared to Batman. So this figure is just... They're too big. Like, I saw the Superman and Batman. These figures are gigantic. Like, he's bigger than the NECA Batman. That's just that's no good. No good at all. Here he is with the DC Multiverse Jason Todd. Just towers over him. I'm getting to focus here, guys. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why my camera is not focusing. Here's a DC Multiverse Robin. Classic Robin. He's just... he's twice the size of this Robin. Yeah. So what am I going to say? The sculpt is pretty good if you like the new design. I actually really like the new 52 design with the red. And he also had the gloves and the boots of the 89 Batman. I thought that was a really cool design. This design is okay. I'm loving the symbol. Not liking the blue mask. Not liking the blue on the boots. Articulation is mediocre. Really bad in the legs. And we have this diaper for the trunks. So that's not good. Real quick, let's put the sticks. Let's see if I can get the Screama sticks on the back. So that's cool. He can hold his Screama sticks there. So that's a plus. Yeah, so sculpt, mediocre. Articulation, not very good. Very disappointing. The size, just way too big. Paint is okay. Doesn't really come with any accessories except for the Screama sticks. And, you know, it's like they have the DC Essential figures. They did the same thing. At least with the Icons figures, you got all these accessories. The only thing that was wrong with the Icons figures is the articulation wasn't perfect and they were too small. Other than that, it was a great line. They should have kept going with that. I know they tried to recorrect it. What do I think? Should you buy this? I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you're a huge Nightwing fan like I am. I'm going to stick to the older DC series. I don't know. I just wouldn't buy it. I'm really disappointed with it, honestly. The articulation, that's what's doing it for me. If it was a little bit smaller, and if it's scaled to Marvel Legends, I'd be all over it. So, like, let me just compare it to Marvel Legends Thor. So here is it compared to Marvel Legends Thor. He's taller than Thor. Like, Dick Grayson is under 6 foot. Thor is like 6'5", 6'6", maybe larger. You guys can correct me on that. Just too big. I wish they would scale them to the Marvel Legends. So I'm going to say don't buy it. Unless you're a huge Nightwing fan. He's pretty disappointing. Especially with the articulation. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like the video, subscribe and like. If not, well, that's up to you. Have a great day. Thank you.